Winter Games is the biggest winter sport competition in the Southern Hemisphere.
To kick off the season, we're working with the FIS to broadcast live a World Cup Slopestyle and a World Cup Halfpipe.
Most people would struggle making TV on the mountain. We're going to make it happen no matter what.
So it's officially day one for the tech team of Winter Games 2024, heading up the hill. Today is really just a bit of a load-in day, and then over the next 5 days we'll set up broadcast booth, judges booth, commentary booth, lay a few kilometres of cable over the mountain and link up with all the underground fibre. So all go for us. So we're standing here at the Cardrona demo fence, which is where we set up our base for Winter Games. It's about 1.5 kilometres to the top of the slopestyle course from here. Halfpipe is a little bit over the side here as well, and that's about 1 kilometre to the top of that. Basically, this is where we run the entire production from.
2024 was a really special year for Winter Games. First and foremost, it was the return of the World Cups. First time since 2018, and that is a big deal. We run ANCs up until 2024, which are Australia and New Zealand Cups, and they fit in the continental cup system. So Europa Cups, North American Cups, Asia Cups, South American Cups. But an ANC is a feeder event. A World Cup is exactly what it says. It's the biggest international competition you get in winter sport.
We have to broadcast it live. We can't mess it up because the world is watching. And we've really got to up the game of our standards across the board.
Last year we had a system that would take 8 inputs. This year we needed a lot more cameras than that. We had to increase the number of inputs we could take. We went to 20. We also increased the number of replay channels that we had, so we can do 8 channels of replay, which just really enhances the overall production, really.
We're batting at a world-class level.
We've constantly found solutions. A really solid team with some amazing ideas is what makes Winter Games broadcast such a success.
Nothing sweet about me, yeah. Nice. How's the conditions?
That's pretty tropical actually, 22 degrees. You know, I'd like to just put this on because I like to feel visible, but yeah, it's pretty warm. You know, luckily La Roche-Posay's here to keep everything protected against those UV rays, which you can see above us. Just special effects. Snow is what it is to build the ambience of the Winter Games.
It is always a challenge working up a mountain in itself. Weather obviously is a big factor of it.
Any kind of event, unless you're indoors, weather is going to be a factor. You have to accept that. But the strain it put on the team this year was brutal.
So the protocols are weighted down, but it looks like the wind is over 100 k's. Can you please all work from a fixed building as it is getting to the limit of safety?
Yeah, there's no other word for it. It's absolutely brutal, and it's demoralizing as well. But what this does, it's when you get into that position that you realize why you're choosing the people you do on a team. Because if you choose the right team, they'll dig in and get that job done.
It's not an easy job, and everybody's got to work as a team. So I suppose the most important part of my job is to find those people and make sure that they can perform to the level that I know they can.
There's probably too many things to list that I think is particularly special about the group of people that make the Winter Games broadcast happen. There's an innate love for what we do that makes it work.
I think one of the most impressive things when you see the Winter Games team in action is that everyone understands the mountain. The way people handle themselves in freezing temperatures, like going down to close to -10, -12 with wind chill, in the dark with head torches on a slippery surface, under pressure, being asked to plug in cables, get cameras working. For me, that's always the bit that's easiest to overlook, that everyone understands that mountain, and it's a really specific skill set that everyone up there has.
We're going to get up on the course in a minute. We've got some fixed cables to run, so we'll be running about 3 kilometres of fibre cable up and down the Slopestyle course to feed to our cameras and get those in position ready for qualifiers tomorrow.
Somewhere. Hey, there's some.
Most people would look at a broadcast in a difficult place and go, okay, well, let's just do everything wirelessly. But the reality is that the massive distances we're working over and the fact that we need two-way camera communication kind of means cables are our only option.
What I'm doing is I'm patching fibre cables from the broadcast booth to our closest pit, and then from this pit we have underground cable to mid-slope course and to the base of the Halfpipe. And then we'll run overground cables from those pits out to the camera positions.
Pre-event testing is extremely important. You don't want to just hope everything works. You kind of need to see that it works.
Joe, okay.
Yeah, go for Joe.
Yep, confirm for a tally.
I have picture on camera 1.
It's not just a cable from our switcher to the camera, it's multiple fibre racks in different locations, underground, running 5 or 6 different joins.
Cool, that's perfect. Move on to cable 1, 2.
Because it's a World Cup, we also needed to send every camera individually through to the judges.
Yeah, people probably don't quite realise how the broadcast is used and how important and integral it is into most modern sports that have a judging format, as well as the need of us getting a live broadcast out for all these global partners that we've sold it into. Probably our number one role really is to make sure that the comp is judged. So if we don't get that right and the judges can't see, then there is no competition.
So everything's prepped, camera test was good. We got there in the end and had a bit of a storm in the middle. But as you can see now, there's fresh coverage. Things are looking great for tomorrow. So it's gonna be an early start in the dark. Get up here, get the athletes rolling, and we're into it.
It all starts from when pitches need to be live, right? We have to have pitches live by 8:30, 9 o'clock for the competition. We work ourselves backwards from there. If we need cameras to be rolling at 8:30, we need to be on the hill at 4:30 to start getting those cables out.
We actually have to roll the cables out physically every single day and then roll them back in to protect them, because we've got groomers, we've got skiers, we've got the public, as well as weather systems. So to make sure they work every day, we have to do a very manual job of that.
that happen? Because I checked it and that was good.
I just picked it up and it was looking like that. This has got to come up and go into the joiner, but we're going to have to run a new one of these cables now.
I was a little bit nervous about this year. We're going to do 186 runs through the slopestyle course. Are the judges' feeds right? Well, you can't be too creative with the camera angles that you're building. You've got a course that drops out of sight. The judges need to see a classic run. Are the cameras going to work? Are the batteries actually going to last for that time? There's so many different elements that you're trying to sort of plait together, and it's absolutely terrifying. Welcome to Cardrona Alpine Resort. We've got a full pull of athletes here. This week it is the turn of slopestyle, and we're going to kick off with 60 men, Big Bucks Terrain Park, 150-metre vertical drop. This is a beautiful course.
Ready 6, 6 cut on 6, standby pole, ready 7.
Sitting there for a massively long slopestyle event, almost 5 hours, without having to rush off and fix anything, I think speaks volumes.
The best feeling is when we know that we've got picture from all of them. That's a really good feeling. Everything we've done is set up right. It's all worth it then.
Having snowboard slopestyle was a real feather in our cap. 186 runs, and there wasn't a single run missed. That rounds out today's World Cup action. Thank you very much.
We spend all day basically producing a beautiful show that we're very proud of. It all ends and we start cabling back in again.
What's happening, Joe?
Winding cables, man. Winding cables. So now that the slopestyle events are all done, it's a case of packing down the equipment that's out on the slopestyle course and relocating it across to the Halfpipe to have it all ready for the Halfpipe World Cup later this week.
Luckily, the broadcast booth and where we send our signal out from, it stays in the same place. But every cable from that booth to the cameras changes.
The short time frame between moving from a big course like a slopestyle course to the Halfpipe makes for long hours and a lot of teamwork involved to make it all happen. You know, when we're all stood there looking over the beautiful southern lakes, you kind of then know why you're doing it, you know.
So it's 3:15 a.m. day of Halfpipe free ski qualifications. Because of the weather coming in, everything's kind of been bumped forward a little bit. And that means we have to have cameras live by 7:30 a.m. today. Luckily, there's coffee.
When you look at the Canadians, it's Calgary Olympic Park. When you look at the Americans, it's Aspen with that big super pipe. When you look at the Europeans, it's usually Larks. And it's the same down here in New Zealand. When you look at NZ, it's the Cardrona pipe. That is where pipe legends are born. New Zealand has a dynasty in freeski pipe from the Wells brothers. The pipe is named after the Wells. It's the Wells platter. Behind them, you get Nico Porteous, reigning Olympic gold medalist. And then under Nico, we've got another fresh generation of skiers coming through. Finlay Melville Ives, Luke Harold, Gustav Legnowski, like really impressive skiers. The perfect way to showcase the best of New Zealand on the international stage. Finn Melville Ives leads us out with a 91.75 ahead of Luke Harold. The New Zealand duo dominant at the top of the standings. There's daylight there of 7.5 points. We've seen the men's qualifying and the women's qualifying. We now have 16 men and 8 women ready for finals. Weather permitting, we'll be back with those tomorrow.
windy, but they're looking to update us at 7:30, so hopefully then it'll die down.
We are battling with windy conditions. You can probably hear all wind and none of me. As a broadcast team, we're pretty much ready. There's a few things we haven't been able to do yet because of the wind, like put up the wireless receivers. But the fibre lines are in, they're on the rope line, and they're currently staying where they should. If the comp happens, we'll be filming it. We are a go, confirmed we are a go for competition.
Ready.
Okay. TV, whenever you're ready.
Your 6 is clear. TV ready.
TV ready.
Hello and welcome to New Zealand for the first World Cup of the free ski calendar in the 2024-2025 season.
Pan left, tilt, tilt, pan right, tilt, tilt, zoom, pan left, tilt, zoom, pan right, tilt, zoom.
So special to win here, where I had my first Halfpipe World Cup 5 years ago now.
It's been a fantastic day of action here at the Cardrona Alpine Resort. We look forward to seeing you at the next event in Kure.
A rat, as they say.
Happy days. Bring on the snow.
So just heading up the mountain again today. We got the Halfpipe finals finished yesterday, which is the end of the competition stage of Winter Games. So now we're just into pack out, getting all the stuff off the mountain to close out for the year. 22 plus centimetres of fresh snow on Cardrona last night. We're in for a good day. So the problem with the biggest pow day of the season during pack out is that we got a lot of cables somewhere in here. There's a whole feed of fibre cables that runs through under this. And now we're going to have to dig everything out. I think it's easy to look at 2024 and say that it was a challenging year and that there was a lot of bad weather and a lot of hard work. But one thing I'm really proud of is that, you know, we got cameras up every day. The cameras came up when they needed to and the pictures looked great. Everything worked as it should.
We're not curing cancer or saving lives up there. We're making TV, but we are all really passionate about what we do and want to push the limits. We want to bring innovation and want to do the best.
The main thing for me with what we do at Winter Games is it's about solutions, not problems. The broadcast team has been put together because everyone shares the same passion for making a TV show.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another 4 a.m. start though, mate.
Oh, cool. Just how I like it.